Welcome back to Watching Nonsense Unfold. This channel breaks down TV shows and films to see whether they actually hold together. I look at plot logic, character choices, writing quality, structure, and execution. Today, I'm taking a more structured look at Rebel Moon, Part 1, A Child of Fire. This is not a first reaction, this is a calm, spoiler-aware breakdown of why this film doesn't work. Rebel Moon introduces us to a remote farming community, living under the shadow of a tyrannical empire known as the Motherworld. When Imperial forces arrive demanding food supplies, a young woman named Cora sets out to recruit warriors to defend the village. It's a familiar setup, very familiar. Let's start with what does work. Visually, the film is competent. The production design is polished, costumes are detailed, sets look expensive. There are moments where individual shots look striking, and the score does its job. On a purely technical level, you can see where the budget went. Unfortunately, that's where the positives largely end. The core issue with Rebel Moon is that it mistakes scale for substance. It believes that slow motion, extended fight scenes, and dense lore will compensate for weak storytelling. They don't. Instead of letting the audience discover the world, the film explains everything, repeatedly, and that robs the story of momentum, tension, and emotional engagement. Cora is positioned as the central character, but she's never fully developed. We're told she's important, we're told she has a traumatic past, we're told she's dangerous, but we rarely feel any of it. Supporting characters are introduced rapidly, given dramatic backstories, and then pushed aside. None of them are given enough time to establish distinct personalities. As a result, no one stands out. There's also a noticeable lack of chemistry between characters who are meant to bond quickly under life and death circumstances. That emotional connection never forms. The plot relies heavily on coincidence and convenience. Characters arrive at exactly the right places at exactly the right times. Conflicts escalate not because of character choices, but because the script needs them to. Villains routinely make irrational choices. Heroes survive overwhelming odds with little justification. This removes any sense of danger. When survival feels guaranteed, stakes disappear. The dialogue is one of the film's weakest elements. Characters frequently explain who they are, what they feel, and what has happened in the past. Rather than revealing character through action, the script relies on exposition. This makes conversations feel unnatural and slows the pacing dramatically. Action scenes are long, heavily stylized, and dominated by slow motion. Occasionally, this works visually. Most of the time, it drains energy from the scene. Fight choreography lacks clarity, and enemies conveniently attack one at a time. Again, this removes tension. The film feels longer than it needs to be, not because of story complexity, but because scenes are allowed to run far past their natural endpoint. If there is a redeeming element, it's potential. There is a version of this story that could work, with tighter editing, less exposition, stronger character focus, and more restraint in direction. This could have been a solid sci-fi adventure, but that version isn't what we got. Rebel Moon feels less like a story and more like a collection of ideas borrowed from better films. It doesn't build its identity, it assembles it, and when familiarity replaces originality, the result feels hollow. Rebel Moon Part 1 is visually polished, but structurally weak. It's overlong, over-explained, and emotionally distant. Despite its budget and ambition, it never earns investment in its characters or its conflict. This isn't a disaster, but it is deeply disappointing. This has been Watching Nonsense Unfold. Sometimes it really is nonsense, and sometimes it's just disappointing. Or is it? Anyway, that's what I thought. I'll be back with whatever I end up watching next. On Watching Nonsense Unfold, I break down TV and films that fall apart under scrutiny, from plot logic to character choices. More TV and film breakdowns on Watching Nonsense Unfold.